This is the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weirdness, find the confidence to be your true self, and fully step into your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 164. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure that there is a strong lesson or point to the story that I want to tell you today, but I found it interesting and I wanted to share, and we can figure it out together. So manifestation is always a hot topic, and of course we all want to not only be able to manifest, but to manifest things as quickly as possible. In a perfect world, we would be able to manifest instantly. And what's funny about this story is that I kind of did, but not on purpose. And I'm not really quite sure how to harness this. So I had technically now in the last couple of weeks about 5 instances where a completely random, out of nowhere thought popped into my head, and then it happened. And I can't quite remember anymore what one of the instances was, but just know that there were many, and I'm going to share the ones I do remember. And afterwards, I'll kind of talk a little bit about what I think it means and what to possibly do with this information. So first, I had a completely random thought pop into my head about a person that I know, that I get along with really well, I just rarely see. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to be thinking really about this person, but she randomly popped into my head, and I just had that thought of like, oh yeah, we get along, it'd be nice to talk to her again, but we never really see each other. And I kid you not, the next day we were at Teddy's school Halloween dance party. We're out on the playground. I turn around at one point and she is standing right in front of me going, "Hi!" So that was weird, of course, but I was like, oh, okay. Paid attention to it, but didn't really make anything big out of it. A few days later, I'm driving home from teaching one of my fitness classes, and since we've moved, we are not anywhere near fully settled in yet because we still have some work that needs to be done, and we're doing it. It's just taking some time, and that means everything we don't absolutely need is in the basement. And that means probably 90 to maybe even 95% of our stuff. And definitely not all of the kids' toys are upstairs either. Most of them are downstairs because there's not a lot of space to play in at the moment, just because things are in disarray. So the kids have these hooded blankets that have characters on the hood. So Teddy has a Jack Skellington blanket, and JJ has a Spider-Man one. And I have a couple videos from over the summer in our other house where they were wearing them and they were playing and each pretending to be their characters. And as I'm driving home, I'm randomly out of nowhere thinking about those videos. I get home, I open the front door, and Teddy is laying in front of the front door on his Jack Skellington blankets, and JJ has his Spider-Man one while he's running around. And I'm like, what is going on? Because they have not played with those blankets probably since those videos were recorded back in the summer. Then a few days later, I had a session with a client, and there had been an instance prior where there were internet troubles, power issues on her end, and it kind of made sense for me to think about that as we were approaching this next session on the day of. But to have the specific thought pop into my head randomly, again, very randomly, about wondering if the session was going to run because her internet might be out. But of course, I didn't do anything with that thought. I still prepared for the session. And about 10 or 15 minutes before the session's supposed to start, I get a message that she's been trying for the longest time, but her internet is still out. So she wasn't sure that she was going to make the session. I'm like, what is going on? The session did run. We were able to get it going. But that was just so weird. And so I know I had another instance after that, but for some reason I can't remember exactly what it was. But then I had one more final one, which was almost, it was the same thing, but it was almost a little bit of like a divine hand stepping in, which I later ignored. But so I was going to the store to pick up an inhaler. I have asthma, in case I haven't mentioned that. And as I'm walking into the store, because I have mentioned that I have asthma, because I talked before about lessening how much I was using my inhaler. Well, unfortunately, I haven't been as good, and my usage has gone up again a little bit. But of course, I want to lower it again, and ideally not have to use it at all, at least not on any kind of a regular basis. And as I'm walking in the store, long before I ever reach the aisle that it's in, I have a thought of, what if I just didn't buy a new one? Because the other one was almost out. So my thought was, what if I just didn't buy a new one? I got to the aisle, and they were completely out. And they're never out. Never. Out of all the times I've had to buy one in any store I've ever gone to get one, they're never out. And they were out. So I'm like, okay, point taken. I did later go to another store, not the same day, but maybe a couple days later, and got one. But nudge received, message received. But the thing is here, so I'm noticing these kind of instant manifestations, but if you notice, they're not on purpose. They're completely random thoughts. So there's a definite lack of attachment, because we want to not be attached to what we're trying to manifest. So I've got that part going for me. But I'll be completely honest, I'm not quite sure how to harness the instantaneous part of it with an on purpose and intentional thought. So I'm wondering if, for one, maybe this is a nudge telling me that it's possible and that I need to let go of any self-doubt, self-sabotage telling me that it can't be possible. Because I also know from people like my Reiki teacher and other friends I've met along the way on my Reiki journey that they've been able to purposely, practically instantly manifest something that they were trying to manifest. The other thing I'm wondering is just on a personal level, if perhaps it's a sign that my crown is opening more and I'm receiving messages more. And not in a I plan to predict the future kind of way, because I don't believe that, in fact, I know that that's not what any of the divine messages that anyone receives are ever about. It's not about predicting the future. It's about getting confirmation and hearing the things that you need to hear so that you take the action that you need to take, so that you know that you're loved, that you know that you're supported, whatever type of message you need, just to help you stay in alignment, basically, and feel connected. Know that you're connected. But so maybe there's just some more opening going on, maybe another level of awakening in a way. I did see a video pop up for me that kind of explained, or it started off asking if you were experiencing certain things. And deja vu was the closest, I think, that my experiences here have come to based on what he listed. But then there were also, I forget exactly how he worded it. I'll have to look it up. But it was something related to, like, I don't know if it was people driving rudely specifically, but that's where it related for me. It was about, people just being extra negative and mean and rude lately, the synchronicities showing up, feeling unusually extra tired, and there were a whole bunch of things that he listed, but those were the ones that resonated most with me. And his take on all of it was that there's an energy shift going on, a new level of awakening that's happening, and if you're feeling it, you're part of it. So, yeah. And I've also just been seeing a ridiculous level of angel numbers lately, including one that really made me think a little bit more. But I'm going to keep that one to myself for now. But angel numbers, they all have their own individual meaning, but essentially, again, even if you don't know what they mean, but if you see an angel number and you're like, what does it mean? Take it simply as a sign that you're on the right path and you are supported, because that's basically when you sum up what all of the angel numbers mean, that's what they mean. So if I figure out exactly how to harness this, I'll definitely tell you. But I do also just think it's a natural progression of the journey that I've been on. So if you're here, you're obviously on that journey too. So keep going. Keep learning, keep working on your energy, working on your healing, whether it's self-healing or you come to me for a Reiki session or an Akashic Records session. Keep leaning in so that you can learn to feel how loved and supported you are always, and continue to practice trusting your intuition, receiving the nudges, receiving the messages, and trusting that it's real. And it's not just your imagination, because go back a few episodes, your imagination is your intuition. So that was pretty much it for today. I just wanted to share those interesting stories and try to analyze them with you. So if you have thoughts, let me know. If anything similar has been happening to you, also let me know. And also, we finally hit 400 people in the Energy Within Facebook group. So if you are someone who's been in the group and or you've ever invited someone into the group, whether it was recently or in the past, thank you so much. I am so excited to finally hit that milestone, because we've been at like 395 for about a year. So it's just nice to see the needle move again and have some new people, some fresh energy into the group, positive people who know other people in the group and who genuinely want to be there. So I always put that caveat in there. If you ever have someone that you want to invite into the Energy Within group, please absolutely do it. I just always want to encourage you to only invite people who you actually think would enjoy the group. Like, I don't want to grow the group just for the sake of growing the numbers, even though there was a little bit of vanity behind wanting to hit 400. But truthfully, I still really only want people who genuinely want to be there. I don't want to have, thousands of people in a group where no one actually really cares or shows up or wants to be there. Because what fun is that? I don't know if you're in any Facebook groups like that. I'm still a member of a few, which I should probably go through and clean out some of the groups that I'm in. But it's become just like an echo chamber where people come in, drop a post about what they're selling, no one engages with anybody else because they're just coming in to drop their post about what they're selling and then they leave. So there's no engagement. There's like a bunch of posts and there's thousands of people, but there's no engagement. And that's just not fun. So if you're not in the Energy Within Facebook group, I highly encourage you to hop in. I did finally pop in this past Friday to do some live card pulls, and I also did some late nights Reiki for manifestation because it was 11/11 this past Friday. So you can still receive that energy from that Reiki session because time is not linear. So you can go back and watch the replay and receive the energy. It is pinned to the top of the group, so you'll be able to find it as soon as you are let into the group. Make sure you answer the questions so that I know you are a real person who is genuinely interested in joining the group. And make sure you follow me also on my Instagram. I am Carrie Jokala. I would love to see you there. And I have plans. I have not posted, but I have plans to get back into the Reels game. So watch for those to start coming again. I think that's where I'll leave it. If you missed the card pulls and or you feel like you need some more personalization, a bigger spread, or you need a little more one-on-one attention for your energy with Reiki, please come see me for a session or purchase a card reading all on my website, and we can get moving on clearing your energy blocks so that you can move forward. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.